We should be aware how anxiety affects communication in our interpersonal lives, but what happens when we're being evaluated on that ability to communicate? When our names get called in class, our hands shake, our hearts race, and we forget everything that we practiced. When students aren't able to properly speak up in class, it stretches beyond grades. It affects teamwork, leadership opportunities, and the ability to speak up in current societal issues. Typically, it is the students who suffer from speech anxiety that underperform in presentations or avoid participation altogether. Later, in a workplace setting, this tends to people avoiding promotion or not offering any ideas in group settings. In societal settings, these same individuals let the louder voices dominate the conversation. Communication anxiety affects academics, career opportunities, and societal participation. Thus, schools should incorporate anxiety aware communication education into their curriculums. Communication anxiety is much more than feeling nervous. There are real consequences to this anxiety if it goes unchecked. In a 2019 study in child and adolescent psychiatry, the limited classroom engagement from students is in direct correlation with which students suffer from communication anxiety. In addition to that, research in 2020 from the same journal discovered school-borne anxiety limits idea sharing and peer collaboration. The students who tend to fall behind in group presentation or conversation commonly experience this throughout their whole lives. In a 2023 article for Brunswick, Nicole Bodkoff, a communication scholar, explains that anxious adults often avoid contributing ideas in meetings or collaborative settings due to the anxiety that comes from public speaking. This reduces teamwork, making it unfair to the group and the individual themselves, as they may be a form of representation needed in the group, but due to their anxiety, they will not be heard. Similarly, in 2017, Jane Downey for Autism Research notes that anxiety can alter both verbal and nonverbal communication such as tone, gestures, and body language. These changes can muffle understanding and engagement from listeners, which can increase the anxiety in speakers. Students who suffer from speech anxiety were less likely to participate in civil and social activities, which leads to the absence of important social conversations. These harms reflect the failure to address the issue when it first prevails. In education, according to an article from 2022 by Matt Abrams and Kelly McGold in Stanford Business, the physical responses to anxiety, shaky hands, sweaty palms, loss of concentration, transfers into adulthood, as on average, the school curriculum focus on straightforward academic performance, with little to no guidance on social emotional anxiety aware communication. Without a structured and safe environment for students to address these issues, they remain unaddressed, as they expect students to overcome this on their own terms, which creates long term consequences for the individuals and society. In 2024, in a 2024 article for Neuroscience, scholar Kyong Shim advocates for a school-based policy. VR simulations with speech exercises to help immerse students into public speaking in a low-stress environment. Shim's proposing the use of technological advancements in AI to discover a way to solve these problems with anxious communication. The program is designed to represent live audiences while recording live data. It can provide feedback to the speaker in the form of questions, statements, or visuals, helping identify each student's individual struggles. Shim was awarded a Mo Tertiary Education Research Fund for this proposed solution, called Presentation Pro. She believes in this project due to a previous experiment where she used VR simulations to train new lecturers at SMU. Programs like these offer the ability to gradually practice these skills, which offers a lasting impact on students' communication. As research suggests, this type of intervention can improve participation and reduce communication anxiety altogether. By addressing this problem earlier, schools can provide the skills that they need in order to succeed socially, academically, and professionally. Integrating this type of education into an average school curriculum will be helpful in several aspects in that student's life, in the academic, professional, and social parts of their life. Some questions do arise. Where would the time for these programs come from? Some fear there would have to be sacrificed time from essential classes such as math or English. Others claim that this issue is more personal and not the school's responsibility, suggesting that only licensed psychiatrists should tackle these issues once they first arise. There is also a lack of funding for most schools. What Shim is proposing would cost thousands of dollars most schools are not equipped to spend. What some schools may be able to accept this program into the curriculums, most would decline. However, I believe it's a start to solving this problem. before its future inherencies arise. The disadvantages limit what this policy can do, but I believe it can show what others can come up with. Communication anxiety is more than an awkward moment. It's a wall that follows students into their adult lives, affecting workplaces, relationships, and more broadly, society. Silenced voices lead a void in society for unheard ideas and untapped potential. This problem doesn't have to remain because with anxiety aware communication and education, we can build students for the future. It builds their confidence in themselves and not only themselves but also in society. We need programs such as Shim's VR based learning as she is using a tactical approach and incorporating modern advancements. She is helping she is shaping the future with the future by helping us visualize these walls and break them down. Every student deserves the chance to know how to be heard, and every society benefits from more voices in a conversation. It's time not to just teach just subjects, but the confidence and skills to communicate. When we break down these walls of anxiety, we see the possibilities for more understanding and a more inclusive social future.